Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Verified AMA. My name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day that the markets are open from 12:30 to 1:15 to answer your questions. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Good trading day. We've had a great day in the live day training room so far. I think we're 7 for 7 with a profit of about $7,000, above $7,000. Let me see what we're at. 76, 88. I think we're like $9,500 for today in the live day trading room. The way this works is you guys can ask questions and I can provide answers to you. You can ask me anything you want. That's why it's called an Ask Me Anything. You can ask me about stocks. You can ask me about cryptocurrency. You can talk to me about sports, right? You can talk to me about me. You can talk to me about you. You can ask me anything. But because I'm an employee here at Verified Investing, most of the time we talk about stocks and crypto swings and day trading. Anything you want, you can ask them. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to answer questions kind of in the order they were asked. So towards the end of our session, it usually stacks up towards the end, and we're not able to get those questions answered at the very end if you just throw them in the very last minute. So make sure to leave your questions. And if you want to ask your questions, you can visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage or scan this QR code down below to submit your questions. But yeah. So what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? What questions do you have for me? SA says, hi, Lawton. What's up, SA? SUI is breaking out of a downsloping trend line starting in January. It fit bull flags above that downsloping trend line, but doesn't confirm which is more important. Let's take a look. Let's hop in. SUI USDT. Okay. Is breaking out of a downsloping trend line from January. Something here, right? Yes, it is indeed breaking out. If it bull flags above this downsloping trend line, but doesn't confirm which is more important. I think they're both. If it's bull flagging and it's broken downsloping trend line, that's two factors, and it's bullish. So, yeah, SUI absolutely breaking out here despite Bitcoin's pullback. My levels of resistance on SUI are as follows: $44.20 and $4.30. So two levels that I anticipate a pullback in SUI. Let's see what other questions you guys got for me. John says, could you explain smart money crypto spaces? Sure. Also the hodler space, mega cap, altcoin edge, hodler. So they're within smart money crypto. There's a couple different spaces. So for the mega cap, Maestro, that's Garrett's swing trades. He's talking about the largest companies inside crypto, largest coins in crypto. The altcoin edge, unsurprisingly, handles altcoins, right? So those are Ben's trades. And if you have questions about anything within that and his specific positions, you can always leave a comment in his space. I think he likes to leave questions and comments open, so you can definitely ask him about that, John. Ask him about his questions. And finally, The hodler space is Drew's service where he's buying and holding things for the long terms, even staking them to get a return. Okay. Next question. Christopher says, hi, Lon. Can you please check out the chart on CPER? What is that? Copper? I want to know if it's considered a bull flag from the movement July 8th until today. Okay. It's definitely consolidating sideways, but it has to be. But to be considered a bull flag, I thought the flag portion needs to be somewhere sloped down. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is a slope down, though, right? It is. Like, it's like premature, right? But you can see that the trend, if you look at this, is like kind of down, right? Even sideways is a bull flag, excuse me. But you saw it go up, gap up again, and then it's sideways down. This is absolutely forming a bull flag. Could be premature. Hopefully, get some more. Hopefully, we get some more wins. I mean, consolidation. But when you're trading, okay, this is going to be. And I'm trying to get these in here a little bit more. For our production team. Here is one of today's. We might have more, I don't know, but this is a teachable moment. Okay, so I get questions like this all the time. People say, check out CPER, for example. And what is it? Well, it's the United States Index Fund for copper, right? So it tracks copper's performance. And while we're charting the performance of copper using an ETF, should we look at that ETF? Should we look at that index fund? Or should we look at the price of copper? We should look at the price of copper. I was waiting for an answer from you guys, but you can't answer. So if we take a look at the price of copper, that gives us a fuller story. This is the same thing for natural gas. It's the same thing for gold, for silver, for all of these things. Instead of looking at the ETF, let's look at the main stock. So anyways, taking a look here on copper, copper is appearing to bull flag upward, kind of sideways consolidation, kind of like coming into a little tight wedge pattern. So when you're charting this, right, and I tell you that this is bullish, or this could be considered a bullish wedge or a bullish pennant, this triangle, up move, sideways consolidation, that's bullish. So when you're looking at things like CPER, make sure you're looking at the core of that stock, whatever that is, okay? And that was the teachable moment. Okay, Mike says, hi, Lawton. Any views on swing levels on CAT, Microsoft, or SMH? Sure. Let's hop into it. Caterpillar. First, Caterpillar, and sorry about that. I got a notification. I want to turn this off. Sounds okay. I turned that off. Sorry about that. So for Caterpillar, what are my levels? This was my first level of resistance on Caterpillar. And look, it kissed it. Oh, got so close. It was just about 412. And you see how I got that level for a short on Caterpillar. It's this pivot high just above 412. My secondary level, because it got so close and tagged it, my next level would be double top here at 418.47. That's where I'd likely initiate a short. But look how so close it got to my first shortable level. Darn. But 418.47 would be my next shortable levels. As far as Microsoft is an absolute monster. Look at this. I had this huge trend line drawn from all the way. Can we go to the weekly? All the way down here from 1999, all the way through this pivot high, all the way to here, but absolutely crushed it. Did not care about my trend line whatsoever. So what do? We readjust and look for more trend lines and see if there's any other trend lines we are able to find. And luckily, there are. Now, I say this all the time. It is extremely difficult to find resistance levels at stocks trading at all-time highs, but the best way to do it is to use pivots to find a trend line. And for me, you saw exactly where I pulled that trend line from. Again, this is from the previous highs in 2021 through the highs about a year ago in 2024, and you see price level for resistance is approximately 2% higher, right? So that means if I was trading this, I would look to short it at around 514, 515, around that level. That'd be my first level for a short. Do I think Microsoft favors a pullback? Excuse me. Yes, I do. Do I think that it's coming into a good shortable level? Yeah, potentially. But again, at that 515 level, that is going to be it. All right. Next question. Mike says SMH, shortable level. What if I told you I was already short SMH? This has been absolutely unfounded, unpredictable, incredible run from the SMH, about over 71% up from the Liberation Day lows. But here is something so important and crazy to realize. Okay, that's actually, I believe, is bearish for the stock. The stock, SMH, for those of you who are unfamiliar, it tracks the performance of the semiconductor industry, right? Semiconductor industry. And it's currently up 2% today, which you're like, wait, why is that bearish? We're up today. The reason why is because Trump last night and NVIDIA shared that they would start shipping and selling semiconductor chips to China again. That's bullish. So bullish. That's like the most bullish news that the semis could get, right? They're already at all-time highs. They're already overextended. But what? But on top of that, before they weren't allowed to sell to China, right, because of national security concerns. But now they're allowed to. And now the SMH should be up significantly. But it's only up 2%. And actually, earlier today, it was down about 2% earlier today. SMH. Or on the weekly, excuse me. And you see today, price did open up higher around 2-ish%. Continued a bit higher, about 0.5%, but has pulled back and is actually currently below the price that the SMH opened at, right? That's bearish for it. This is the best news possible, and you're only up 2%. That tells me that a pullback is coming. Okay, thank you for your questions, Mike. And thank you guys all for being here again. If you guys weren't here, I wouldn't have a show. I could sit here and talk to myself. I do that anyways, but it makes it so much better that I have you guys, that you guys trust me enough to ask me questions. And it's crazy to think that all you all over the world watching would care what I have to say. So I'm going to try my best to give you the best and most clear answers. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you straight up I don't know it. Next question from Bridget. Bridget says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bridget. Can you take a look at the PRTA chart? Yes. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Bridget, and thank you for all you do asking me this question. So PRTA coming down a little bit today. It is restructuring, right? That's something to notice that I can see here. But not a lot of news on it. Oftentimes in restructuring, you can see a lot of it's pretty good for a company. Generally, that means it was probably mismanaged, and some people think that it would help save the company. Looking at a market cap at around $330 million, that is low, very low market cap, risky trade, right? But the great things about these risky trades are that if you have good news, this thing could go up 150% in a day. But the bad news is that if it's bad, then this thing will go to zero. So as far as PRTA is concerned, for me, sorry about that again. That always happens around this time. My computer outside is also connected to my chart, so it just logs me out. I would look for a potential bounce here. Right, this could be one area you could see a bounce in PRTA, and again here at 508. So full disclosure, I would not trade this. I would not recommend trading this, just because it's so volatile and so small. Right, it's a 3% drop, but there's no volume. Look at the average volume, about 1.5 million shares per day average. But you go here to look at this volume, you're looking at about only 236,000 volume. So for this stock, you're expecting a bounce here and over here, about 18% lower, around $5.08. So for me, looking for if I was going to trade it, 508 is where I'd get in. But as always, when you're trading something so volatile, things that are so small cap, I'd recommend going small with your position size. And I would not use any money that you would care about losing, right? Like throw $1,500 there, but if $1,500 is a lot of money to you, and you don't think that you could handle a loss that big, then don't trade something as volatile as this. Right? Alternatively, you could just put a stop loss. Say you got in right now, and you could stop out down here for a 5% loss. Right, you can keep the tight stop down and look for a 20% move. That's a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So it really depends. Next question. Share says, or Share says, I'm looking to sell CSP or ACN at a strike price. ACN. Okay. An option strike at 270. Okay. May I know where the support is on the stock? Absolutely. For me, my first level of support is this pivot low. Very clear rate, obviously, 273.23. That's going to be your first level of support. I think additionally, could get a bounce here at 261.61. These are two levels that I think that ACN Accenture should get a bounce, right? But this 273 level is going to be a pretty decent level for support. Okay, Daniel says, do you have any support levels for CNC, or is this thing just a dog? I'm still long on a swing trade. Yeah, that's tough, right? This thing is kind of like a dog, like, to be honest. My next level of support is 29.14. I know it sucks, but this is where I would likely look for to add if I was in the position or get into the position. Here's what you have to know, right? When things drop like this so significantly, can they bounce? Absolutely. Will they bounce? Probably. But how long is that going to take? Let's take a look at TTT, the trade desk today, which is up off of news that it's been added to the S&P, right? So look here, earnings in February. Bad earnings, fell down and kept falling, absolutely tumbling, right? Another 50%. But what happened, right? This is kind of looks like CCN continued down as just a dog, keeps going, all the way until the next earnings, had decent earnings, popped up, actually got all the way back up here. And on this news that they're added to the S&P, they actually filled this gap window and actually got back to the earnings gap level. Sorry, my brain just kind of exploded for a second. So if you look at TTD's price action, it looks very similar to this CNC that you're talking about, right? Looks very similar to CNC. So do I think it bounces? Yeah, eventually. But just know you could be waiting 3 months or longer, right? And that's not even a guarantee. But these are the rest of my support levels on CNC. At 29.14, 25.04, and 23.68. Next question. Kushal says, any insight on Sol if it will make a move towards 165 or 170? Solana, right? Let's take a look at good old Solana. Is it going to go to 165 to 170? I mean, it was like up there yesterday, right? Where did it pull back? Basically, a pierce of this double top. Basically, at this double top, right, is where it previously pulled back. That was the line in the sand. That was the resistance. Could it go to 170? Yeah, absolutely. But what you want to see now, you want to see sideways consolidation. And this would be bullish. If it sits right under this bullishly, and hopefully it can get a move up, right? And you look for like a move to 175, 176. Right, but if it can just sit here and just chop around, you want to see that final push higher. Lewis says, is Dow Chemical forming a wedge pattern and may break down the upside looking at a 1-year chart? Dow Chemical. Oh, on the 1-year chart, I don't think you're looking at this 1 year, 12 months chart. You must be looking at something like this, like for the year or something, the daily or something. There's no way you're looking at the yearly time frame on that. Not enough data. Anyways, could it break out? You have a couple of different trend lines. For me, does this favor move to the upside? Yes, it is towards its lows, right? With the lows being over here, the COVID lows being the lowest spot down here. COVID lows here, liberation-ish lows down there. Something like this. And then here, you could say that it tried to break out up of this down-sloping trend line, but kind of failed. I wonder if we're able to draw a parallel channel. Let's see here. Not quite. Not quite a parallel channel. Not a good one, at least. We need more data points to the bottom. So does it favor a move to the upside? I'd say leaning yes, but it's hard for me to tell you where it's going to bounce, exactly where it's going to go. This is not something I've traded before. As far as this, you're kind of breaking this upsloping trend line. So for me, this is bearish. I expect it at least to come to this gap fill, looking at $27.50. Mark says, what are some good support levels for UNH? Sure, let's take a look. UNH, it actually just hit it today. My support level for UNH is basically $29. Yeah. Or just under, $292. Excuse me. Sorry. $292, which it hit today and bounced beautifully. Look how beautiful that bounce was. I could have day traded that. Dang. Could have took like 1% on that, but a beautiful move. So this is the support level for me. 292. Additionally, you have, of course, previous gap fill down here. 274. gap fill or pivot low, and then again 248 lows. But wow, look, it hit it perfectly and bounced off of it. How amazing are charts. Incredible. Louis saying, how are you trading stocks? Are you building the position on this downturn? What are your thoughts? Yes, I am building this position on this downturn. I just added at $7. I have another ad at $6.80. My average is like $7.98, I think, somewhere around there. Robert says, what the heck is going on with the IWM today? Yeah, the Russell absolutely getting hammered today. Well, it's because the markets are pulling back, but what's keeping them afloat? The semis, right? NVIDIA, all these other things like the news. But that just shows how much the like we're favoring a move to the downside. We're favoring a pullback. The markets want to pull back, but this small little bullish news about China and the semis is keeping the things like the S&P like up. But look, the S&P actually went negative. Qs, it's coming down a little bit too. So as much as an NVIDIA is still up 4%, but that's actually bearish for the markets because as soon as the semis give way, look out below. Ricky, what are your thoughts on adding a stock swing trade after today's down day based on your cash average? Where do you think you need to take advantage when it pops? Also considering how being out the stock, but potential you think it still has. Yeah, Ricky, and like I said earlier, I added to my stocks at $7. I'm going to add again at $6.80. My average is at $7.898. I'm going to take like probably 2/3 of my position off at my break even, and then take off the rest in sections of like. Probably in fifths, I'll take every like 50%, I'll take profits. Kevin says, if copper is following a bullish flag, isn't that also bullish for stocks? It's bullish for the the copper stocks like CPER, right? Yeah. Jim says, could you take a look at FNMA and SENS? Sure. This is okay. Again, both stocks I've never traded before. Finance company, interesting. Oh, look at this, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Done something trend line. You could even, if you wanted to, say that this is an inverse head and shoulders. All right, let's focus on one first. Trend line. Look at this nice trend line down. Should it break, then it would favor a move up. Like 13% would be my target. But we can also potentially have an inverse head and shoulders. Look at this. Shoulder, head, and then a potential shoulder, right? Let's see this measured move. This measured move is a move up. Around 39%. 39% would be the measured move to the upside. Wow. Incredible. But let's see if it plays out. So let's take a look at SENS. Again, not a company I've traded. Okay, small company, penny stock. I would not trade this. Or I would not feel comfortable trading this. That's just a disclaimer that I give every single time, just so you guys know where my head's at. But as far as the chart is concerned, there's a nice move up. I don't have too much on this chart, to be honest. Could say that it broke out. It's fair to say that it did break out. You see that this downsloping trend line, it struggled retracing, pulling back on this trend line. I can adjust it even a little bit more. like something like this, struggling to break above it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finally it gaps up, pushes up higher. For me, if I was in this, I'd look resistance here, here, here. This is my opinion on SENS. That's what I would do. But again, I would not trade this. So it's just me. Sarah says, hi, Lawton. What's up, Sarah? How's it going? Hope you're doing well today. Is XLM stellar? Forming cup and handle pattern. Not quite. You need some more price action here. I mean, could be kind of a cup. I mean, it's pretty close, but you just need to see the handle. But for me on XLM, I mean, it's altcoin season, right? Because all the alts were running. For me, I need some more price action for this. If you see something like this, then I'd be happy to buy it. Happy to go long this stock. If you see price action like this, potentially making a bull flag. But I need some more price action after today. But if we have to consolidate here, it could definitely go higher. Shar Siwas says, can share on Facebook? FB? Not Facebook. Meta? Still bullish? Or Meta? We might be talking about Meta. Do you think it's still bullish and you can share the support? FB, I think support is here. 698. It should get a bounce. That's a nice gap fill. Had this previous gap fill down here that previously provided support over here. And 4.5% lower, excuse me. Let's see. All right, Trey says, good morning, Lawton. What's up, Trey? What verified investing services, if any, provide text message updates? Specifically text message, none. We don't have anything that send text messages, but with the verified investing application, we'll send messages to your phone, your smartphone, through our mobile app that will tell you when we buy or sell a stock or cryptocurrency in any of our swing positions. So specifically text messages, we don't have anything that does specifically text messages. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'm going to be here for the next 10 minutes. In a little bit, we're going to start our rapid fire round. And for those of you who have been here before, you know how that goes. Like, we usually just rapid fire answer questions. And that's going to begin in just a couple of minutes. So if you have any charts at all that you want answered, throw them in the chat down below and we'll get those answered. All right. Derek says, good day, Lawton. Your feedback and interactive show is fabulous. Thank you so much for the kind words, Derek. You are fabulous yourself. Let's check DAL out. Yeah, Delta Airlines. Short divergence RSI on the 2-hour. Cheers. Okay, I don't generally use the 2-hour, but I'll take a look at the 1-hour. See if I can't find anything good on this. Look at that. Oh, does it get better than that? It doesn't get any better than that. That is like, I'm like salivating. That's how you know I have some sort of psychological issue, because I spend every day looking at these charts go up and down, up and down, up and down. And I still get excited when I see stuff like this. Look at this incredible trend line. I'm like banging my table. On the hourly, look at this. From March 24th to May 12th, the day before my birthday, to right here, July 10th. Look how beautiful this trend line was. It hit it and pulled back beautifully, about 4%. How's the RSI doing? The RSI was so overextended. The RSI pierced 70 here as well. Oh, and has come down Man, I wish I saw this earlier. Um, dang. Derek, I wish you told me about this a couple hours earlier. Or you told me about it yesterday. I would have shorted this thing. Made $1 billion on this. Not actually, but I wouldn't actually have made $1 billion, I wish. But anyways, yeah. This thing, it looks like it's going to come down. That trend line is beautiful. Nice support here at this pivot low. You have this here around 54.67. You have this level here around $50.67. That's that gap fill from Wednesday, the 9th of July. What other levels of support do we have here? I mean, that's pretty much it. You have some previous gap fills. A nice previous gap fill over here, around $55. But that's actually where the stock bounced on Friday, the 11th of July. But anyways, this is where I expect a bounce on. These are my levels for a bounce on DAL. This is incredible and just an awesome chart. So insane. Ricky says, what do the charts show about UMAC on a swing trade? UMAC. Okay, not something I would trade. Why? Market cap is so small, $280 million. Gareth could literally buy this company today. I'm just kidding. Where am I? I don't know. I always say that. I don't have too much on this chart. I guess you could consider entering a position long if it gets back to back gap fill down here at around $8.69. But other than that, I don't really have much on this chart. It's just too small. Not something I would be happy to trade. Okay. We have 8 minutes left. We're going to head into our rapid fire round. So the way this rapid fire round works is you ask your questions, I give you answers, and I try to do so as fast as possible so that we can get everyone's questions answered. And it's a great and fun way to end the show. But let's do it. Let's get in there. Okay. Let's get in there. MD says, hey, Lawton, good day. MD, could you please mention some key resistance levels for Baidu? Yeah, absolutely. The Chinese stocks are absolutely ripping off of news that potentially Chinese and American relations will go up, right? Trump is allowing Chinese companies to purchase American semiconductors like NVIDIA. I had this beautiful trend line. You see this nice trend line from 1, 2. So that's where you could find some resistance level on Baidu, around 4% higher, not too far away. Additionally, you have a pivot high right here at around $95.13, right? So 1, 2, and additionally, you have a beautiful gap fill here at around $98.40. So 1, 2, 3 levels of resistance for Baidu right there. And if you need to go back and rewind, you can do so on YouTube. These are reposted on YouTube as live shows anyways. So you can always rewind and watch. Check it out. Stock Trading Diary says, can you check NU? Absolutely, 100%. New holdings. For me, new holdings is... These are what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this beautiful downsloping trend line. If you can break above that, you're likely looking at some decent upside. My target to the upside would be 14 to 17% higher on the break of this downsloping trend line. Just know that it has pulled back 1, 2 times. So third hit, it's likely to pull back. So I'd really like to see a push up, close above, right, or a retrace before another move higher. All right, on NU. Sarah says, thank you, Lawton. You're welcome, Sarah. How long will the parallel channel from March 2020 to now run in DBA? Invesco, yeah. Thank you for your help. Let's see. From 2020 of March. 2020 in March. All right, parallel channel. March, thing like this up here. I'm struggling to find your entry into this, your parallel channel. Let's go in the weekly. Let's just take from the lows, connect it through here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, there you go. I found your parallel channel. How beautiful is that on DBA? This, yeah, really great parallel channel. So your question is, how long could it run? I mean, as long as it wants to, right? Thank you for your help. It hasn't broken out one way or another. Had some opportunities to break up and out of it here. Nope. Kissed it here. Nope. Again, here. Try to break to the downside here as well. Here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking, if it breaks, you want to see it come down, hit this trend line. Either you can short it on a break, or what? Wait for a retrace and let it ride down. Same thing for the upside. Okay, I have 4 minutes left. I'm going to go a little quicker. Like I should have been going quicker. This is supposed to be a rapid fire round, and I apologize. But anyways, this is an amazing, absolutely beautiful wedge on DBA, or parallel channel. Hey, Lawton, I'm loving the AMA so far. Keep it up. Thanks so much, Mateus. Thank you for your kind words. Do you think Carvana is forming another bull trap? Or is it possible it can break through this upsloping trend line and capturing it? Thank you for sharing your charts with me. For those of you who don't know, you can share your charts with me by clicking on this button here, this camera button, and click on copy link. That'll give you a link, and you can just paste it in the chat. Do I think it's playing another bull trap? I mean, this could actually be a bull flag, right? Do I think it favors a move down? Yeah, 100%, right? But, you know, its previous highs are up here around $377. But do I think this favors a move down? Yes, but this could be putting in a bull flag. So just be careful that it doesn't break up and out of it. All right, next question. Early stages, Derek says, boil long. All right, let's see. Fabulous Derek. All right, I'll keep this in my mind. UNG, yeah, natural gas, we do feel like it's due for a bounce. So oil looks good. If you have time, Ethereum, EETH. Okay, again, if we're looking at EETH, we got to look at Ethereum. Does it look like it's bull flagging? And excuse my awful drawings, but that's the same inverse head and shoulders that was on Bitcoin. Does it look like it's bull flagging? No. Why is it not bull flagging? Quintessential question time. Okay, the reason why it's not bull flagging as I'm running out of time is because this is move up with this uptrend. Bull flags look like this or like this, not like this. With an uptrend, it's actually bearish. So you want to see downsloping action or sideways action for bullish consolidation or a bull flag. This up move is not bullish, doesn't qualify. And final question, Derek says, Boyle was entry on Boyle is this morning at 46.54. Dang. That's a great gain for you. You could have taken 2% on that. Congratulations, Derek. But yeah, Boyle does look fairly bullish. I mean, we can just chart natural gas for this. I had this head and shoulders pattern, right? Head and shoulders pattern. So I thought it was going to come lower, right? However, it's broken up and out of it. And I'm going to face resistance up here around $3.75. This head and shoulders pattern is still valid as long as this shoulder doesn't come above this 492. All right, guys, that's it for me. Ooh, I'm tired. I'm tired of talking. You're tired of listening to me talk. But thank you so much again for coming in, asking me questions every single day. This was the Verified AMA. Again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. If you guys have more questions, any more questions you'd love to ask me, I'd be more than happy to answer them. You can always send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing. Go ahead, drop me a follow, send me your question. And I hope you all had as much fun asking questions, hearing my answers as I had in interacting with you all and giving you my answers. Sarah says, we enjoy your show. Sarah, I enjoy your questions. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day. I hope to see all of you tomorrow, same time, same place. And best of luck in the markets. Bye, guys.